Today, I want to give you an update on one of my favorite crypto exchanges of choice, which is Nexo. Now, I've been using Nexo for a number of years, but obviously in recent times, I took most of my holdings, my Bitcoin and various other crypto off the exchange. But now that crypto is making a major comeback, we've seen the prices growing quite a lot in recent times, obviously ahead of the Bitcoin halving in the next month. So exciting times ahead. I think it's probably going to go even higher potentially. Let's hope. So yeah, I thought I'll give you an update on the platform, what I think about it, and whether I still recommend using it as a crypto exchange. Without further ado, let's dive right in. Right, so here we are on the Nexo website. You can see right away the first thing they highlight is obviously the upcoming Bitcoin halving. So yeah, really exciting times ahead for the industry. I think it builds up a lot of excitement. And obviously, historically, we have seen always a boom before and after a Bitcoin halving. And that usually carries across different currencies as well. It's not just impacting Bitcoin, because Bitcoin lifts all other ships as well, so to say. So I think it's exciting times ahead. But again, I'm a long-term investor. So while it's nice to see these price gains, I'm not a trader who's buying and selling. I think long-term is going to go even higher. So yeah, I'm a buy and holder, and hopefully, 10 years from now, it will be significantly higher. But again, we're not here speculating about the prices, more about the platform itself. So obviously you can see it's a very intuitive interface. And actually I've been using a number of exchanges in the past, but I always kept coming back to Nexo and have been using them now a number of years. I'm really happy with them. Now, obviously, overall, the platform is very intuitive, very straightforward, and they've done extremely well despite all the difficult times. And we've seen a number of exchanges going bust in recent times, Celsius, FTX, to name a few. So yeah, they've really been doing well. And what I like about them, that they're also very transparent in their fees and their communication. For example, their CEO is constantly out on Bloomberg, giving interviews on YouTube, ask me anything, questions and sessions. So I really like that about Nexo, that they're really straightforward and open. Whenever I have any questions, they come back to me right away and very responsive. So I really like that about them. And overall, I feel very comfortable using them. Let's dive into some of the products that they're offering and what makes them so special. Right now, we're just going to go through their website, and obviously I'll take you afterwards to the actual exchange and log into my account so you can see what it looks like. And obviously, in terms of buying crypto, like pretty much most exchanges, very seamless, very fast, and they give you a lot of different options how you can buy your crypto. So obviously, I always prefer doing it through bank transfer because that's probably the cheapest. You can have different preferred top-up methods. Obviously, they allow you like Visa and MasterCard, but always, guys, stay away from that because that's very expensive, even though it's tempting. Same with Apple Pay and Google Pay. And often they give you the first, 500 free of charge. So once you're in there and you continue doing this, but that's when you start incurring the fees. So always stay away from it. Make a bank transfer. And in the past, it used to be a little bit cumbersome. When I started using Nexo, it took almost 2 days until the money arrived because it was in the UK. But now you have instant top-ups for euros and pounds. As soon as I send the money from my Revolut account, it's literally a second later in my Nexo account. That's really amazing. And yeah, it just makes things so much more convenient. And there's no limit. I can send 10 euros and I have it as well. So that's really cool. And I really enjoy that feature. Obviously, you can also do on-chain crypto transfers, but I don't do that. Usually what I do is send my euros in there and then buy crypto with that. Now, some of the benefits as to why to buy crypto on Nexo, obviously the high interest, we'll speak about this in a second, how you can earn interest from your crypto holdings sitting over there, which is really nice. Then you can get up to 0.5% cashback. So if you buy something, you will actually get another 0.5% bonus in a way on top of it, which is really quite attractive. Now, there's a little note to that. I'll speak about this in a second, but basically, it is a feature if you are a certain level within Nexo, which is cool. You can dollar cost average. Basically, what it means is you can set up automated buying orders. So every week or month, it will buy crypto as per your specifications, any kind of crypto that you want to buy, weekly, monthly, and as per the amount. So that's a cool feature that not every exchange has, and I really like that as well if you wanted to dollar cost average over time. And then obviously you can go through all the various assets that they're offering over here. But yeah, most of the common ones are there. And obviously you can click into this here to see all of the assets. But yeah, they have plenty of them and even other pages. So in my case, most of them that I bought, I actually only buy Bitcoin. They are here. So I'm sure you'll find what you're looking for. And I even have different crypto bundles. So it's like almost mini ETFs, blockchain related, essentials, Web3, exchange tokens. So you can buy those and you kind of dollar cost average into a number of those rather than having to buy them all individually. So that's also quite interesting to see. Now, another one of their famous products that I use myself also is the Nexo card, which is really cool. It's not just any card, but it's actually a dual card, which is really cool. So basically with one toggle, you can make it from a debit to a credit card and back again, which is really cool. And then obviously it gives you different features. If it's a credit card mode, you can use your crypto that you have on your exchange. If it's in credit card mode, basically basically you can use your crypto as a collateral and spend against it, even up to 0% interest. So basically the crypto is your collateral, same as your house, and the mortgage is the collateral, and you can spend against it, and then you don't have to pay any interest. You just pay back your loan eventually, and then obviously at 0% interest you can borrow money against your crypto, which is really amazing. Of course, for that you have to be the highest level. That means you need to hold some Nexo token, but other than that, it's really quite attractive actually. And not only that, you can get up to 2% cash back on every transaction, which is really cool. I mean, think about it. Every time you make a payment, you get up to 2% cash back. That's in the form of Nexo token, or you can also have 0.5% in Bitcoin cash back. So that's really cool as well. Or if you don't want that, you switch to debit mode if you don't want to have any credit, and then you can basically use it as any debit card. You put your euros, pounds, or dollars on there and spend it. At the same time, all your crypto keeps on accumulating some interest. We'll speak about this in a second. And then you just use it as a debit card. Obviously, then you won't have the cash back, but still, I mean, really cool. And then you can quickly swap if you want to use it one day for credit, next day for debit. That's really, really cool and very unique. I haven't seen too many cards doing that, which is a really cool feature. Of course, they have a virtual card as well, which you can use right away and use with Apple Pay, Google Pay. So yeah, I used to use it a lot. I'll show you. I made quite a bit of cash back over the years, over the time, but now I went to other cards. But if you want to use that, definitely a great option. And again, depending on your level that you're on, up to 10,000 euros a month without any exchange fees. So that's quite attractive, especially if you travel internationally. That's really quite nice. And then 5 free ATM withdrawals every month. I mean, that's really cool as well, because my bank charges me quite a lot for that. And then obviously up to 10,000 euros ATM withdrawals. So very quite attractive card. I would really recommend you checking it out. If you enjoy Nexo, it makes sense to use those two in conjunction. Then there's also the Nexo Pro exchange. But honestly, in most cases, I think that's a little bit overkill unless you trade really a lot. Yes, the one thing you will get here is even lower fees. Now, Nexo doesn't really charge you any fees, but it's the spread. It's the difference between the buy and ask price. It's slightly higher. With Nexo Pro, it's even lower. But again, you see the interface is much more overwhelming a little bit. So if you just buy once in a while, certain amount of crypto, I think for most people, the regular Nexo account is more than plenty. So then you have many different other products as well. One thing I want to talk about is the earned interest program, which is really cool, where you can put your crypto to work basically and get paid interest for that, which is really nice. So obviously the cool thing, it's paid daily, which I really like. So every day you get notification that you got interest paid to you, automatic earnings. So they then add it to your account, and then basically on that, you start making more money and consistent returns since 2019 without interruptions and access to their funds. And that's really true, right? I had my money over there. I keep getting interest. And if I want to withdraw it, and I did that, it was immediately withdrawn. And here you see the various rates, and I really like that, and it's very transparent, very straightforward. Now, first off, one thing you need to notice is they have a loyalty tier system. So all of the numbers that I said before are subject to your loyalty level that you are with Nexo. So you can have 4 different levels. If you join the first time, you are on a base level, which basically means that 1% of your portfolio or less is a Nexo token. So Nexo token, like most platforms, they have their native tokens, right? You know, FTX had the FTX token, which wasn't a really good thing. Binance has the BNB Binance token, basically. Crypto.com has their Crow token. So that's very common for platforms to have their own token. Obviously, they want to incentivize you to have more of their own token. The more of Nexo tokens you have, the higher you get in their loyalty ranking. And obviously that will give you a lot of other benefits. In my case, I was for a long while a platinum member, but now dropped down a little bit to gold because actually the Bitcoin price went up so high that in proportion, my Nexo percentage went down a little bit. But basically you can see here, depending on which level you are in, how the benefits are changing. For example, if you have your euros sitting over there and you are a platinum member, right now you would be getting 7% interest on your euros. Now, they call it a stable coin, but technically it's still your euro, right? If you send euros into your account, it will start getting interest 7% if you're a platinum member. If you want to change it to gold, let's say, then it's only 6. If you go down to silver, it's 5.25%. So you get the drift, right? The lower you go, the lower the benefits go. So there's an incentive to have more Nexo token, of course. Then, of course, in terms of fixed terms, so that means if you lock it up for either 3 months, 12 months, you will see in a second, I'm going to show you in the app, the longer you lock it up, the more interest you will get. But I always like to be flexible. And in many cases, sometimes it's not really worth the 1, 2, 3% more if you lock it up. And lastly, if you earn a Nexo, once again, to incentivize you, you will once again get a higher incentive to do so and more interest. So yeah, it's really up to you if you want to earn in a native currency, either in euros or in Bitcoin or in Nexo, which will always be higher than if you earn a native currency. So in this case, you can earn up to 15% interest on your euros, which is unheard of. And yeah, really quite attractive actually when you think about it. So even for Bitcoin, if you are on the platinum plan, you can see up to 7%. Of course, you have to earn in Nexo token and lock it up for 1 month. If you don't do this, you can still earn up to 4%, or on the base plan, of course, it will be less, but still 3%, right? Just by having your Bitcoin sitting over there in the saving wallet, you can still get 3% without holding any Nexo token and not having any lockup. So it's really not too bad bad when you think about it. I like also they have a nice calculate your return, so you can plug your numbers over here, play around a little bit and see how much you could be getting in terms of return. So yeah, really nice, very smartly done. And I really enjoy, once again, how transparent they are and make it very user-friendly for people to use. Right, so once you're signed up and logged in, and if you haven't made the account with Nexo yet, then use my link in the description below and you'll get $25 worth of free Bitcoin to get you started. So there's nothing to lose. Just make your account, fund it, and verify your identity, and you'll get $25 worth of free Bitcoins. Right, so once you're up and running, basically that's the dashboard interface that you'll be greeted with. Overall, very clean, very nice. I'll show you in a second also on the mobile app, which is very good, which I mostly use, to be honest. I prefer doing it on the go on my app, but still, you have that feature available, which is nice. You see here a portfolio balance, and I really like that they recently changed it. Previously, it was all in dollar, but now you can change it to either dollar, pounds, euros, what have you. You see the credit line, which once again is only relevant if you wanted to borrow money against it, right? You can see, let's say I can borrow now up to 3,000 euros against my crypto holding. I have it as a collateral, but again, I don't really want to do that. So in my case, it's not relevant, but if you want to take a loan, that number becomes more relevant for you. Here you can see the interest earned since I started using the platform. That's almost 1,500 euros just in the form of interest. So really not too shabby when you think about it. Now, obviously the amount that I used to have here was even higher. In total, my crypto holding is now close to 80K slowly because of the price have been going up. The majority of that is still sitting in my Ledger hardware wallet. But at the time I withdrew pretty much everything. But now slowly I'm actually starting to invest more again. Of course, a couple of referrals as well over here, but still once in a while I do invest and buy some more Bitcoin. And yeah, really nice to see that building up. So I wouldn't want to have 80,000 sitting right now here because again, I never know what will happen to the exchange. But still, with that amount, I feel very comfortable. And yeah, hopefully they will not go bust. I think now in the better times we're in, they're even in a stronger position to survive and do well. I mean, they survived all the difficult times. So when the prices are high, I'm really positive that it will continue to do well. Then you see over here my loyalty level, which is gold right now. Obviously, when I click into this, you will see that right now I only have 7.44% of my total portfolio in Nexo tokens. So that's why I'm only gold. You see between 5 and 10% of Nexo token. If it was over 10, I would be platinum. And by being platinum, I would get all these other benefits, which are really quite attractive, to be honest. But yeah, as I said, right now, I'm not all into the platform. I do like it. I do have some funds on it and I do get interest from it. But yeah, I don't necessarily want to invest more into Nexo token because long term, I want to be mostly into Bitcoin only. So while I want to stay gold because I do think it gives me more benefits than being silver or base, I'm not sure that I necessarily want to be platinum. But I'll show you one hack how I could potentially become a platinum member in the future over time. Right, so in the dashboard, we can go down over here again, how we can add up the funds and so on. That's very easy, very straightforward. You see the market highlights and so on. And then you come to your assets. Always one thing I recommend doing is hide all the zero balance assets because otherwise it's got a long list of all the assets that are available, but you probably don't own them. So just click on that so it's cleaner and you see what you actually have. So you can see on my Nexo account right now, I have mostly Bitcoin and a bit of Nexo token over here. So from here, I could easily either click on trade or transfer if I wanted to withdraw it, or click into my wallets. So here you can manage your various wallets. So if I click at this, here it's one thing to understand. There's two kind of wallets. There's a savings wallet and a credit line wallet. So the savings wallet is basically all the money that sits here starts accumulating interest. So as you can see over here, when I click into this, the interest breakdown, I can see how much I'm getting. Right now, I get 3.5% interest because I'm a gold member. If I was platinum, I would get 4%, but I'm actually getting 1% bonus because I'm earning in Nexo. And I'll show you in a second how I can change that. So now every day I earn Nexo token on my Bitcoin holding. And that way, long term, as I said, I will have more Nexo token without having to buy or swap my Bitcoin into Nexo. I just get paid interest in the form of Nexo. So for me, that's a good way because I don't actively buy it, but I get it passively paid to me. And that way, over time, I might become a platinum member, which brings me more benefits and more interest in the future. So that's really cool. Now, obviously, I can click into this here and see if I locked it up for a period, let's say 1 month, I could get an additional 1% of interest on my Bitcoin. But to be honest, I don't want to do it because I want to be flexible. I never know what happens. Maybe there's some bad news around Bitcoin or the platform, what have you. And I want to withdraw it right away. I want to do that. I don't want to be locked up. And for 1%, for me, it's really not worth the added incentive of locking it up over there. And then obviously I could click over here to transfer between wallet and then send all the money that I have in my savings to the credit wallet. And that way I could use a loan against it. If I wanted to use my Nexo card as a credit card and borrow against my Bitcoin holdings, you can see here 50% loan to value. So that means, if I have 1,000 euros at Bitcoin sitting there, I could borrow up to 500 euros worth of credit through my Nexo credit card. But again, I don't want to do that. Right now, you can see it would be 2.9%. If I was on the platinum plan, I could borrow up to 0%. But I don't like credit cards in general. I don't like to have credit. I have one mortgage. That's more than enough for me. So in my case, it's not relevant. So yeah, that's pretty much it. You have a bit more market insights if you wanted to. From here, you could buy and sell, obviously, very straightforward. Again, they show you always the card first, but as I said, it's always best to bank transfer your money into that and then use that to make any purchases. Now, one thing to keep in mind is the fees, obviously, right? So there's Nexo Pro, as I said, that's the cheapest way of buying it. But if you buy through Nexo, it's still fairly cheap. There are some exchanges out there that are seemingly cheaper. And while they don't charge you a fee, there is a little bit of a spread, basically, the difference between the bid and the ask price. They don't say exact number, but people say it's around 0.3 to 0.4%. So if you are on the higher plan of platinum or even gold, in the end, you basically come up with zero fee, which is good. But if you're on the lower plan, you might basically pay 0.2, 0.3% in terms of spread, right? But still, I think it's very attractive. Some other exchanges charge you 0.5% or even up to 1%, which is very expensive. So in that way, it's still very, very attractively priced. And obviously, if I wanted to withdraw my Bitcoin, I would just click over here on transfer, and then I could say withdraw. And then I can basically withdraw to any destination, right? I would put the address of my wallet over here and then it's send it. And depending on the plan I am, if I'm on the platinum, there wouldn't be any fee, withdrawal fee, which is very good because some exchanges, they charge you exorbitant withdrawal fees. And of course, in the gold plan, it will show you how much the fees, but they are really reasonable. Yeah, other than that, obviously you have the markets over here. Once again, the exchange where you can buy, sell, and what have you. Transactions, you will see all your transaction history. You can see every day I'm getting now interest paid to me. 76 cents worth of Nexo token on my Bitcoin holding, and then 5 cents of Nexo token on my Nexo token. So yeah, that's basically every day I get now pretty much 80 cents paid to me in terms of interest, right? And if the amount is higher, it would be even higher. And as it's all paid in Nexo to me, the percentage of Nexo holding will increase. Now, unless obviously Bitcoin triples in the next few weeks and Nexo doesn't, then the percentage of Bitcoin to Nexo will be different. But over time, if I continue doing this, it will be better. And I'll show you how you can change it. What you have to do is go into your profile over here. Obviously, make sure your identity is verified, so you're good to go. All these things should be green. If there's something pending, make sure it's filled out so you get access to all the features. And then go to loyalty level. You see once again all the various loyalty levels over here. Payment methods, link up any payment method you want to have. Recurrent buys. So this is where you set up any recurring buy orders. So you can set it up, daily, weekly, monthly, how much and which currency. Very straightforward. I like that. And then you can go into your settings. And here, what I did basically, I changed the saving interest preferences. Initially, it was interest paid out in the same currency. So if you have Bitcoin, you will earn in Bitcoin, but obviously the percentage will be lower. If you have Ethereum, you will earn in Ethereum. Now, in my case, I changed it interest paid out in Nexo token. So whatever currency I have sitting there, the interest paid to me will be always in Nexo. And as I said, there's an incentive and they will pay you a higher percentage. So later on, if I have a lot of Nexo token sitting over there, I can always change it back to Bitcoin, right? So yeah, it's a bit of a risk because you don't know how Nexo tokens will develop over time, but having this incentive for me makes sense because obviously I'll benefit in the long term by being a platinum member and get even more interest in the future. Here you can also change the default display currency. If you want to change it to pounds or dollars, you can do that as well very easily. And yes, also in terms of safety, they have two-factor authentication, the login procedure. They take safety really serious. I actually skipped that point over here on the Nexo website. If you go into security, so they have a whole section just in security over here, how they safeguard it, even certain insurances, risk management, over collateralization, which is very important, various insurances, global licensing. So really a lot of things going for it. Again, nothing is ever 100% safe. We've seen similar pages for FTX and Celsius, as I mentioned before. They still end up going bust. But once again, they do give me confidence that they take it really serious. They have a lot of good things in place. And yeah, as I said, I have my funds lying there myself. I wouldn't do that if I wouldn't trust it. Now, is it 100% safe? Absolutely not. But definitely, I think they're really doing a good job and one of the better platforms, as we've seen, the fact that they survived for so long in all these difficult times, they're doing something right. And I feel very comfortable with them. So let's hop over to the Nexo app on the phone, which I said, pretty much you can do everything you can do on the desktop, you can do on the app and vice versa. Pretty much the same things. One thing, the difference is it's dark mode. Somehow I didn't figure it out how to have dark mode on desktop. I always like dark mode more, but yeah, just a personal preference. One thing I don't like, but it seems all these apps, crypto apps have them, all these banners. I wish they could always be hidden. So I usually just X out of them, but then they keep on coming back after a few days. Now, obviously they want to push certain things for you or to try out, which is nice. But if it's consistent all the time, I don't like that, but it is what it is. Then of course you have a little news section over here, which is also interesting. The various markets, your portfolio balance over here, which you can click, your hide if you want to show a friend and hide your millions that you have in the crypto. You can do that as well. And yeah, once again, you just click over here into your your loyalty tier level and see all the various benefits you get. And of course, here you have your card feature, which you didn't have before. So you can see the virtual card, you can switch between the virtual and physical card. But even from that, you can see in cashback, I earned almost 1,000 euros just by using it at the time. Now, as I said, I switched to other cards because with my UAE card, I get 2% in fiat money and dirhams paid to me. So for me, that's even easier than using it with Nexo. But yeah, it's a great card. If you don't currently get up to 1% cashback on any of your cards, then I really think it really makes sense to use a Nexo card, because why not, right? You could later on always switch those Nexo tokens that you get as cashback into Bitcoin or cash out, sell it and use it as euros again. So it's up to you, but I think it's a really, really cool feature. And as I said, you just click into card mode over here and then switch from credit to debit. If I click into debit, boom, now it's a debit card, right? If I go back into credit, boom, I can see the cashback. So once again, the cashback is only available if you use it as a credit card. If you want to use it as a credit card, you need to have your collateral there. So in this case, I wouldn't be earning interest on my Bitcoin anymore because I would have to move it to the credit wallet as I've shown you before, and then I can use it up to 50% LTV, or for my Nexo up to 15% LTV. So yeah, maybe a little bit confusing in the beginning, but once you get a hang of it, it's pretty straightforward. But in my case, as I said, I don't want to use it because I don't want to lock up my Bitcoin into the credit wallet because I want to get interest from it. So I already get 2% from my other card. And then at the same time, I use it as a debit mode, and I will continue getting the interest paid to me because all my crypto is in the savings wallet. I really love the app. I love the experience. I've been using them for a number of years now. I did try different platforms, and while I think Binance could be a little bit cheaper if you buy crypto, I mean marginally cheaper, but if, for example, you are with Nexo on either gold or platinum, the cashback that you get from every purchase that you do with your crypto, in the end, to be honest, it comes to the same fee, if not slightly cheaper. So in my eyes, I actually prefer Nexo because, to be honest, it's more user-friendly. And looking at Binance right now, there's so many litigation cases against them. Their previous CEO is being sued. So there's so much drama around Binance. And as I said, I don't like the interface. And with Nexo, I really enjoy it. I love it. I've been using it for many years myself. I have my money over there. Plus, of course, majority is still on Ledger, and I always recommend don't put all your eggs in one basket. While it is a great platform, obviously it's not a stock listed company where we see, the revenues and the profits that they're making. We're hoping they're doing well, but they obviously don't reveal, all their numbers. So it's hard for us to judge. So obviously none of this is investing advice. I'm just sharing my own experience, what I do with the platform. And for me, it's really nice. It's safe. I feel comfortable with them. As I said, I don't put all my funds over there, but some of it, putting it to work, getting interest from that, definitely makes sense. So if you want to check them out, definitely make sure to use my link in the description down below to secure your $25 worth of free Bitcoin. Oh, by the way, look at this. This is beautiful Tenerife behind me. Looks absolutely stunning, especially now the sun is setting. So yeah, not a bad place, though, to be honest, I do prefer Dubai. So hopefully we'll be back in Dubai soon. So we're going to be another few weeks over here, but yeah, not too bad. And while this video is sadly coming to an end, this one over here will definitely be interesting for you as well. As always, thanks a lot for watching. Stay healthy, get wealthy, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.